Hi everyone, I am in Palm Springs, California for the Canadian debut of this vehicle. This is a 2023 Subaru Solterra. It is Subaru's first all-electric vehicle, and I'm here with Brad Evans. He is the car line manager for Subaru Canada. Welcome.
Thank you, Gina.
I want to talk about this vehicle. This is your first electric vehicle. It's a collaboration with Toyota. It runs on the same platform as the BZ4X, their first electric vehicle. Also rolls off the same assembly line in Japan. You know, tell me, what is the difference between this vehicle and the Toyota?
Yeah, so it was a shared development, 50-50 engineering development with Toyota, as you said. But there are a number of distinguishing features and elements which set the Solterra apart from the BZ4X. So one of them, the first and foremost, is our kind of signature hexagonal grille shape here. When you look at that, immediately it looks like a Subaru, despite there not being any actual grille there. Additionally, we have our signature C-shaped LED daytime running lights, which again, at night you can really tell that it's a Subaru immediately at first glance. Next, we have our signature paint color here. So this is called Harbor Mist Gray, and it's exclusive only on the Solterra. And also we have an exclusive 20-inch wheel color as well. So.
And no front trunk?
No front trunk. No, there's some mechanical components under there, but no front trunk.
And how important is it to have collaborations like this to get electric vehicles to market?
Yeah, I mean, especially for Subaru, we're a smaller car maker, so yeah, a collaboration with a much bigger partner like Toyota in this example is extremely important for us. I mean, we want to and we need to start making electric vehicles. The development is sometimes extremely expensive. So yeah, collaborations like this really help us move things forward much more quickly than we would have been able to otherwise.
Now, when we talk about this vehicle, this is an all-electric vehicle, dual motors. It has 215 horsepower and a range of about 360 kilometers, a little bit less than some competition that's out there.
Yeah. So we've been conservative, I think you could say, with the Solterra. However, I think as you probably found today, conservative doesn't necessarily mean that it's worse or anything like that. I think you've probably found that 360 kilometers actually takes you a lot further than you expect a full day of driving, and there's still probably plenty of range remaining. Yeah, as you mentioned, so we've got standard DC fast charging, and of course level 2 charger is there as well. So the level 2 charger can charge the battery up from
10 to
80% in about 10 hours or so, and then the DC fast charge from 10% to 80% in about an hour.
Yeah, not bad. All right, and then when we come along the side here, I mean, there's certainly some nice details, Subaru details, especially if you're going off-roading, which we actually did today.
Yes, yeah, no, that's exactly what it's for. It's meant to be a Subaru. It's not meant to have any compromise because it's an electric vehicle. So it still has 210 millimeters of ground clearance, which is plenty for most off-roading obstacles that you might encounter. As you mentioned before, full-time symmetrical all-wheel drive with X mode. So
and that is yours. That is Subaru's
that's
tried and true. What Toyota has is not that, so that's another advantage.
Right. So the idea was to just make another Subaru SUV that just happens to be an electric vehicle. So I think we've done a really good job with this one.
And as far as its size, I mean, it's about the same size as what, a Forester?
Yeah, that's right. So length is almost the same as the Forester. Height and width are similar to our Outback. And then the very long wheelbase is similar to the Ascent. This is on our new Subaru Global platform. So the battery is mounted kind of in the floor, in and below the floor.
And that gives you more space inside,
That's
especially
right. So,
in the rear seats.
A huge amount of rear seat leg room for all the passengers, with a nice flat floor back there, so it feels nice and roomy.
And back here as well, we have a fairly large trunk. Because we don't have that front trunk, you don't really give up anything here. You also have a little compartment here that you can use for your charging cord.
Yeah.
And you can fold down the seats as well for extra cargo carrying capacity.
Yeah, exactly. So the cargo area is meant to be as flexible as it can be. So like you mentioned, there's this nice compartment below the loading floor, and also the cargo area floor can be lowered by about 70 millimeters to give you a little extra height, or it can be placed in this top position to give you a nice flat loading area with the rear seats down.
Perfect. Well, let's go have a look inside now.
Great.
Ooh, the interior is quite modern.
That's right. So, yeah, there's a couple really obvious things to notice as soon as you get in the car. So the first thing is our 7-inch LCD gauge cluster, which you actually see from over top of the steering wheel, which is kind of less common than you might be used to. The idea is to raise the gauges up kind of more into your eye line so that you're not having to look down from the road as much as you may normally, similar to a head-up display in some other vehicles. And then of course the 12.3-inch landscape display handles all the infotainment, maps, audio, vehicle information, all of those types of functions. And then below that, a series of touch sensor buttons handle all of the climate control. So none of the climate control is handled through the screen.
And you have the S pedal as well?
Yeah, that's right. So even further down from that, we've got the drive mode select over here with some X mode, which is standard on all Solterras. This particular model has a 360-degree camera system, and there we go, which lets you look kind of below the vehicle even. Also, it has a system called Grip Control, which acts with the X mode system and acts as kind of an off-road cruise control, a very low-speed cruise control, which will pull the vehicle up hills and up and down hills at a pre-prescribed speed, so that you can concentrate on the steering and everything like that. And yes, as you mentioned, we also have a mode called S pedal drive, which is kind of our strongest level of regenerative braking. So it lets you drive the Solterra nearly with one pedal. So when you lift off the accelerator, the vehicle really slows down and recharges the battery as much as it can.
Yeah, and we have a paddle here for regenerative braking as well.
Yeah, that's right. So the paddle shifters or paddles on the steering wheel give you 4 more kind of lower levels of regeneration if you don't like the full, really aggressive.
I was really impressed. I want to get it back to how many kilometers I had, because when we started this road trip, we started in Dana Point, California. We drove over 200 kilometers, and it ended up being quite a long drive, but I still have 157 kilometers, and that's of range remaining with the radio on, with the temperature on. But if I turn all that off,
yeah, if we turn off the climate control here, you can see the range shoots up over 200 kilometers remaining still after a full day of driving.
Yeah, not bad. Right. Prices start, well, just under what, 50?
Yeah, so the our Solterra all-wheel drive entry-level model starts at $54,295, and then this model that you were driving today is the Solterra all-wheel drive with technology package, and that's $62,095.
And depending on where you live, you can qualify for quite significant rebates.
That's
you
right.
know, especially in BC and Quebec.
Yep, that's right. So the Solterra qualifies for all of the provincial rebates nationwide, as well as the federal rebate as well, and availability is also nationwide. So we don't need to live in BC or Quebec to be able to get one, which is great.
And if I order mine today, how long is it going to take for me to get it into my driveway?
It depends on the dealer. Some dealers have some sitting on the lots as we speak. Some dealers have a bit of a waiting list. So it really does depend on the area you live in and the dealerships that you have around you. So it can vary, but we're getting as many as we can to try and get people in them as quickly as possible.
And do you have to put a deposit down in order to get one, or how is it working?
It depends on the dealership.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all handled by the dealership network.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brad.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks for joining us.